Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're taking a look at an unlimited Haven deck that I put together mainly because I wanted to finish some Havencraft stuff for daily missions and that, and I didn't really want to affect my rotation rank, and at the same time I wanted to play a deck that I thought would be interesting. So I put together an Elana Tenko Shrine Heal Haven deck. It was very interesting. I really had a lot of fun with it. I mean, you're running most of the pretty stock cards for most of the part. I mean, Sacred Plea is an amazing draw card, Beast Call Aria is amazing value. I am running a single healing prayer as a good way to activate Tenko Shire, while at the same time being a good draw power card on the Elana, just to really pull off crazy things and get you all those allied amulet stuff. Of course, I didn't actually run the decent draw card being Mystic Holy Water. It's definitely something I want to put in this, but I was really tight on space once I added in the pretty standard legendary sets like Princess Snow White, Salvation, a single Aether because it can pull both Tenko, Aegis, and even a Moon, which Moon plus Tenko Shrine is actually really good and just gives you a little bit of reach, so running a single one of that's pretty good as well, although you could probably swap that out for something else. If you did remove Moon and the Healing Prayer, you could probably fit a couple of Holy Waters in quite well. I did want to run the Triple Tribunal because random target removal like that is amazing, and I have got the couple of Banishes. Otherwise we've just got the pretty standard cards from then on out, mainly focusing on the healing and building a big wide board that you can use with your amulets. Of course you can double stack amulets because really you don't want too many more than 3 followers. 4 is great when you have Elana, but usually I find 3 is kind of my comfortable area where I'm not overextending or underextending on my board. So we'll get right into the video and check it out. So first up, we're against Sword. Sword in Unlimited is still trying to favour kind of more aggressive stance normally, but you will find some more mid and control swords floating around as well, so they're not completely out of the ballpark of Unlimited. Unlimited's a very wild west situation where no one deck seems to be the most common, at least from my playtesting so far of about 15 games in Unlimited. They've always been pretty varied, and the few games I do match up against the same thing, it still has some really key differences. So we start off with a nice Sacred Plea. I mean, we can actually double up on Sacred Pleas because our sword opponent drew obviously nothing that they could use, which is great because it means we get to draw 2 popular cards and then draw 2 more pretty much immediately after. Since they are going for the White Paladin, it looks like it is one of the more rare control sword variants. At least that's what I would suspect, seeing a ward like that come down. So we do get the free Elana's Prayer out here, only having to take 3 damage, which I'm pretty comfortable to do. And since we get the Evolve, we're looking at a very good Priest, removing the 3-2 and the 3-4 very quickly and effectively. Having the Aegis in hand kind of sucks though. I would rather pull it with the Aether, but the Aether just does so much better when it comes to it. And we get another double draw next turn. So as long as you keep playing cards, having 2 sets of draw back to back usually won't overdraw you. We do get the Whole Sword Swing, which is pretty perfect to remove that Priest. A little disappointing. But we do get the double Snow White. So that's not too bad. It means we've got all of our Snow Whites in hand, so we can go pretty wide and stick to the board pretty well. So if our Elanas get to stay on the board, we can actually be pretty happy about it. But I reckon they did take the Remove Amulet card from that, because there's no point taking the follower removal when you're versing something like this. So go wide. All my Snow Whites looking pretty happy. We use 1 to trade just so we can free up a board slot next turn, hopefully.
Alright already, I surrender.
That's kind of why I went for that. Plus we do have more draw on board, so we're not worried about playing cards either. Holy Pure Bomb. Kind of expected that one. But we can pretty much follow up with an immediate Elana. And they did clear the other Snow White. Still okay with that too. Does at least force out that card, so they're not going to be using it on anything bigger. Just a couple damage going to their face. I think we can settle on that pretty nicely.
You're safe with me, Captain. May the dark clouds be dispersed.
So our opponent isn't really getting too much out. We get a full clear, which is great. We don't actually need the healing in this situation, but I mean, the clear alone is enough value. All we really need now is to draw into something decent. The Albert is really going to put us into an awkward spot because it is 10 damage, and unless we drew enough healing, we're not going to be able to heal out of range of another Albert. So it really puts us in a very awkward position. Tenko though does kind of fix that because we should be hopefully able to now heal well and truly out of range and have an absolutely massive board. But I do remember they do have the second evolve, so we probably won't be able to get out of range of another Albert regardless. I think we end up just short.
So this is the end.
2 off, I think. So if they do have another Albert, they win the game. If they don't, it's going to be much harder for them to come back off it. Because at this point, with only 2 health left, what do they do?
I should have foreseen this.
And that's not going to be it. So next up is Dragon. I thought about that last game a bit, and I'm not sure if I probably could have went for lethal if I had have evolved another follower instead of Tenko. But thinking about it, probably not, because Tenko did provide 1 heal on its own through trading, so I think we still would have ended up just 1 off lethal there, even with the Evo. But who knows, we might not have. I'd have to look back over it again to find out. I'm sure you guys in the comments will work it out. You always do. So Dragon Oracle, going for that early ramp. We have Beast Calls, which is nice, and we do Tenko's Shrine. Gotta remember to call it Shrine and not Shire. I'm just so used to the word Shire being more popular than Shrine a lot of the time. So we do have our Banishers. We're not too worried about leaving this up for now. Really just looking to get set up while taking minimal damage in the intro of the game.
No!
They are ramping, which is not good for me, but I mean, there's not many ways they're going to be dealing with this amulet in particular, and we do get the proc next turn, which is Tenko's turn. So we should be able to hopefully do some real damage. They are going to take another Evo.
Be gone.
I won't let you harm Mr. Dragon.
Stop.
So we finally get all our cards out. We can go for our Tenko play.
Whatever it takes.
Means they are going to have to focus on removing Tenko. Of course, I don't really like how this went because the trade was a little unfortunate. I really wanted that to hit the 4-4. That way I could have guaranteed the kill on it a lot more effectively. Instead of having to just kind of trade here like that and go face, I would have preferred to get the damage off that way, because now Tenko's a sitting duck to this 4-2. So Tenko's basically a guaranteed death, which is a little unfortunate.
Farewell then, friends.
It won't be long now.
And the Sybil is going to get a perfect trade.
To make the world blue.
At least Priest of the Cudgel should do its job nicely. Or we might come up with another strategy to get around this. I mean, we've got a bit of healing as well that we can use. But I think Priest is definitely still the best way to clean this up. We can hit off the 5-2, remove the 3-4, go face for 4 damage, while at the same time still having another Priest to back it up.
All must come to an end.
And a Tenko's Shrine with a couple of healing cards. Can give us at least a couple of damage. Since we didn't activate their staircase yet, we're sitting in a pretty okay spot. So Dragon's Nest, that's reasonable, and 2-2. So the 2-2 should be easily removed very, very quickly.
Look at you.
Rabbit Healer does a good job of that.
Still room for improvement.
And with the board the way it is, we're going to get at least, 8 damage here pretty nicely. Of course, 2's negated due to Dragon's Nest. So we really only got 6 damage in, which is pretty good still, especially with a wide board like this. Of course, Bahamut and stuff would be a pain to deal with, but not the end of the world. I think since I have been trying to save my decree for when they either go wide or they go into a Bahamut or big other play that I need to deal with, I should be okay. So we can go for the Banish. And we go for another Papa Banish, getting rid of those couple of cards and still getting a bit more damage in. We were only 2 damage short, and if I had got Tenko, we could have probably done it pretty well. But as it stood, I wasn't going to get enough damage to the face to actually cause lethal. So I think going with the Banish play was definitely the better of the choices I had. Ugh, Conflag though, kind of ruining my dreams. At least Dragoncraft is their only play. Which gives us our free turn to drop Aegis and basically no way to counter this now. Anything that's played out here will pretty much be immediately dealt with, especially since I have Decree. So we can secure our victory from now. I mean, their only big play would have been some major combo, and even Dreadsea won't work anymore due to the way that it functions. So what really is there for Dragon in this case? Probably nothing. So that's this deck. I had a lot of fun with it. There's probably definitely ways you could improve the deck. Probably just messing around with the numbers a little bit, working out what works best. Maybe only running 1 Shrine and 3 Elana, just messing around with those sort of numbers a bit. But overall, the idea works really well. I had a great 6 win streak in Unlimited playing this deck straight off the bat. I did end up losing a couple games after that, win 1, couple losses. So I found that mainly that's because I came up against about 5 aggro bloods in a row, and dealing with aggro blood can be a little difficult. If you don't have an ideal curve or enough removal, you will get stomped in that early game and really struggle to combat everything else. Otherwise, you can deal with most other decks really easily. There hasn't been a long game I haven't been able to win. There hasn't really been a short game that I haven't been able to win. It's more of just you need the right cards for those matchups, and getting them is what's important. So probably trying to work a way into the deck where you can deal with aggro matchups a little better would be good. Otherwise, pretty happy with it. So please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. You can find the deck list in the description below, and I will catch you guys next time. See ya.